All right, I know there's been a lot of talk in the media about social media, ex-Facebook executives coming on saying how basically it's not helping. We stay off of social media ourselves. We don't let our kids go on. These are previous Facebook executives saying this. And there's been a lot of talk, is it bad for you? Well, actually, I think it's really good. And I want to kind of tie this in with the artificial intelligence, machine learning stuff that I've been doing recently, some of the videos, because I think this is actually, social media is probably actually the solution because it connects all of us together in ways that we never were before. And it's really the only way we can gather enough intelligence to outsmart the computers in terms of our AI and where it's going to in the future, because pretty soon we're not going to be able to compete with them on an individual basis. The AI technology will be able to outsmart any individual person, but together it will be different. So unfortunately, what's happening is that social media is a relatively new phenomenon, and basically people just don't know how to use it. I know I've had a lot of experience with different groups and things that I run online and social media, and I've witnessed that when I first started a lot of these groups in 2011, they started to grow really fast. Then a couple of years into it, there was a lot of growing pains. It really was behavior modification because people didn't know how to behave in these environments. They'd never been raised in them, and they were just kind of behaving badly. I guess that's the way I would put it. For instance, an example of this is like in 2009 when it seemed like every adult got on Facebook who had never been on social media previous to that. There was a lot of bad behavior. There was a big spike in divorces and things where people got reunited with people that they'd never think they'd see again, they'd never talk to again, etc., etc. All of a sudden, they were right there in front of the computer all day long. So people didn't know how to behave. They didn't know how to handle that emotionally. So this is just another thing where the average person maybe can't handle this emotionally, and maybe a lot of people can't handle it emotionally. It's a sociology thing. It's a sociology experiment. We're learning about how people behave as a as a whole or more of a group mentality, and a lot of times it's not good. Unfortunately, most people are followers rather than leaders. They're not going to go do their own thing. They could be using the social media for the greater good and to gather a lot of knowledge, but instead they just use it for their own selfish purposes. Basically, that's what happens. Selfish purposes, I'd say, lead to a downward spiral. There's anxiety. You get depression, envy, all this stuff. That's because they're using it for. They're really looking at it from an I or a me perspective instead of the greater good and networking everyone together and what can be gained from that. So I think that really it's going to be a reframing of what people believe social media is and the purpose of it. And right now, I guess if most people are using it badly, I guess some people are pulling back. And some of the people that even been in the industry, are pulling back. And like I said, I think that where we're going with artificial intelligence, we're going to need everyone to get together, be connected, and use our cumulative and whole intelligence of everyone combined in order to outsmart the computers. That's what I think. And I think that Elon Musk is also thinking the same thing. I know he didn't say social media, but I'm saying social media because that's how we're networked together. And as soon as we get the interfaces, I know Elon and other people have companies where they are designing interfaces between our human brain direct to computers. Once we have that and we have social media, we'll all be able to be connected. So that's going to be the source of knowledge that we're going to be able to remain competitive with the computers by being connected in that way, and by really all reaching, having a common goal instead of looking at this from a selfish perspective. How can we help each other out? I think if we start reframing it like that on an individual basis, that it'll start to change. And it needs to change, because if we can't work together and we're saying, oh well, basically this always leads to bad things, or we can't handle it, well, we're not going to be able to outsmart the computers. AI is going to take over. The machines are going to take over. That's my opinion. So we've got to get this thing right. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. I'd like to hear from you, and I'll try to respond to as many comments as possible. This is a really important topic, so I hope you'll give me some of your best thoughts on the subject. I'd like to hear from you and about those thoughts. Thanks a lot for watching.